served in Afghanistan, you know what these interpreters have done for Aussie troops in particular, but this is not as simple as it seems, is it?
No, it's not. And, my heart goes out to everyone who is in Afghanistan right now with the Taliban regaining the momentum in certain parts and some places where I've fought and mates of mine have died. But it's not as clear-cut as some people are trying to make out. It is. Since 2014, more than 1,400 Afghans, interpreters, their families have come to Australia. Just the other week, we had a plane load of people, Afghan interpreters, come to Australia. Terps that worked with me are here, but there is a robust process that has to happen. We were fighting an insurgency. We were fighting terrorists. So we do have a robust kind of plan in place where people go speak to the people that are applying to come here either on protection visas or through the humanitarian aid. But this is also the Afghan interpreters and their families are the only people who are coming into Australia on protection visas under the humanitarian aid process. Everyone else has paused. We want people who have helped us to be safe either in their country or to come here.
So it seems like some Afghanis who did help Aussie troops in particular on Aussie projects, there seems to be a little bit of a grey area here. The government arguing that they weren't technically employed by the Australian government and therefore are not able to get these visas. Is that right? Or are there character assessments that go along this and simply things that we don't know?
There's definitely character assessments that happen with anyone that applies. I know where I served in Uruzgan that we would hire a local to build a well, and then that local would sub out people to come and help him. So if that's the kind of description that's happening, then it is two parts removed. I do want to help anyone that was on job sites or were helping Australian soldiers, and if there is legitimate concern and there's legitimate threats to one's lives, there are policies in place for people to apply for protection visas. I've texted Maurice Payne just before saying we need to catch up, because what was printed in the Australian is concerning to me, because I don't think we should be pushing people away who are helping us out. But there has to be character assessments done, because we were fighting in a war.
Yeah, absolutely. And no one is disputing that. But you say you're a little bit concerned about that report from the Australian today and what it is asserting. Do you think some people may have fallen through the cracks, not being given these visas when they should have?
I think that we can never sit by and say we're doing the best we can ever do. We can always do better, and we should always strive to do so. And if people have fallen through the cracks, then we need to find them, have that catch net, and help them out. But all individual cases, we don't. I don't know individual cases. I don't see the character assessments and the reports that go through to the minister. But if people have legitimate concern for their safety and their family, and they've been helping the Australian soldiers out and keeping us safe while we've been fighting in a war, then I'm in their corner, and we will be in their corner, and we need to be helping them out.
Yep. And what do you think of what's going on in Afghanistan at the moment? Coalition troops are pulled out, and in just weeks it looks like the Taliban has gone through huge swathes of the country and retaken these areas. And the Afghanis who were on the side of the coalition forces, the Afghan troops themselves, well, now it's a matter of survival for them. They've either died or fled or succumbed.
Yeah, it's hard to watch. I fought there. Many Australian soldiers have fought there and have had their mates killed there. And to see the Taliban now retaking ground, and we're talking about the Taliban who don't allow young girls to go to school. They don't allow women to get an education. This is what we're fighting against. And now for them to come back into the areas that we were holding and protecting, it doesn't sit well with me. I don't like it at all.
We lost so many soldiers in Afghanistan, many more after the war, you've got to say as well, more than veterans really succumbing to their own demons. How do you feel knowing that troops spent 20 years there and it seems like all of that has been reversed in just a number of weeks.
Yeah, we've lost soldiers there, and we've lost so many more who've succumbed to their war within back here on home soil, and they're the reason my mates that have died by suicide, the reason I got into politics. The reason I'm here today is in memory of them, and I went into that dark place as well, and my wife and good friends had to pull me out of it. I don't like seeing a place that where we were and we're fighting and doing good to now where we've moved withdrawn to have the Taliban take back over. And this is a trigger for many people in my community and around the country. They've contacted me that they don't like to see this, and they're questioning, should we ever have been there? The answer to that for me is yes. We should have been, and we did really good work, and we should always remember how the brave men and women who fought there and served there. And also we need to wrap around the supports to the brave men and women who now, might be finding themselves questioning their service as we're withdrawn. And they shouldn't. They did us proud, and the nation should be thankful.
We're going to see a Royal Commission this year into veteran suicide, which we hope brings us some answers. But it feels like in the last couple of weeks, Phil, that the portfolio itself had become a bit of a political plaything in the leadership ambitions in the Nationals. What do you think about that?
9 ministers in 8 years. Far too many. Far too many.
Says it all, doesn't it?
The veteran community. It does. The veteran community deserves consistency, deserves a person that goes into this portfolio that wants to bed into it. We've got Minister Dutton, the Minister for Defence. That's his portfolio, and I know he'll stay there as long as he can, and he'll do a fantastic job. I want to see someone like that in Veterans Affairs. I want to see someone that puts all other ambition aside and goes, I'm here to serve our veterans and their families, to make sure that they're getting looked after, the services they have, to fix the long wait times, to have a plan and not just be jousting for the next promotion.